De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings are in a great position. You see, they traded for Domantas Sabonis. They ended up getting the 4th overall pick in this year's upcoming NBA draft. A pick that it seems that they are willing to trade. And of course, that's something that they should do. They should either get an NBA All-Star or add some depth to their roster. Just last season, De'Aaron Fox averaged 23.2 points, 5.6 assists, and 3.9 rebounds per game, shooting 47% from the field and 29% from three-point range. And Domantas Sabonis, he was a great addition for this team, averaging 18.9 points, 12.1 rebounds, and shooting 57.3% from the field and 31.2% from downtown. While both of these superstars do need to work on their three-point shooting, they need an entirely new cast around them to contend in the Western Conference. Just look at the 7-12 seed. It's the Timberwolves, Pelicans, Clippers, Spurs, Los Angeles Lakers, and last and not least the Sacramento Kings. And it's only right to assume that these teams will get better, especially saying that a lot of these teams in the West have had injuries to their superstars. Now, I do have a few trade suggestions with the 4th overall pick being involved, and I'm about to put the first one up right now. And as you can see, this trade suggestion involves the Atlanta Hawks, Sacramento Kings, and the Washington Wizards. The Atlanta Hawks, they will receive Harrison Barnes, Terrence Davis, the 4th overall pick, and a future 1st round pick. The Sacramento Kings will get John Collins, Kyle Kuzma, and Kevin Huerter, and the Washington Wizards will receive Justin Holiday, Alex Len, and 2 future 1st round picks from the Sacramento Kings. Now, why would they do this trade? For one, the Atlanta Hawks will get rid of John Collins and Kevin Huerter. They're 2 young guys that have promise on the offensive side of the ball, but Harrison Barnes, he can help them defensively. Of course, he will be off the books after next season, but he offers veteran leadership, and that's something that goes a long way. On top of that, they will still have the 17th overall pick alongside the 4th overall pick, so they can add 2 young guys to the roster. And I believe that Shaedon Sharpe is somebody that they can draft, or even Keegan Murray. You never know. Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, and even Paolo might be one of those guys that slip into the 4th spot. They're saying that all of them are guaranteed in top 3, but what we've seen in recent years doesn't really necessarily say that that will be that draft order. So they can add a talent that can be tremendous to their roster immediately. As far as the Washington Wizards, yes, they will be losing Kyle Kuzma, a guy that's talent has been up and down at times, but what they need to focus on is the Sacramento Kings position in future drafts. Of course, they are in the Western Conference. I've already listed a lot of teams that are ahead of them. There's no guarantee that they will make the playoffs, so you can kind of bet that they will get 2 lottery picks in the future if their experiment doesn't work out. Is it worth the risk? They still have Bradley Beal, they have Kristaps Porzingis, and Kyle Kuzma might be the missing piece. But if they decide to move on from Bradley Beal, then this might be the best direction for the team. Last and not least, the Sacramento Kings add John Collins, a guy that is very great on the offensive side of the ball. He's a high energy guy, a guy that can even change a series with his energy. And if you don't believe that, then you haven't been watching the Atlanta Hawks over the last few seasons. He just came off a campaign where he averaged 16.2 points, 7.8 rebounds. Kevin Huerter, last season he averaged 38.9% from three-point range. They'll be able to spread the floor. And as far as Kyle Kuzma, I believe that he's very undervalued. He's a 6'10" power forward. He can play defense when motivated. He wants to be that guy. And last year, he was able to show us some things even though the Washington Wizards were bad. Last season, he was able to average 17.1 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, shooting 45.2% from the field and 34% from downtown. Now, whenever it comes down to his rebounding, that's something that's very undervalued. I believe in the right system, he will be able to flourish, especially with Domantas Sabonis. They can attack the glass together. They can really use a small ball lineup if necessary. They'll still have Richaun Holmes, and that's something that you cannot argue with. But moving on to the next trade scenario, I'll be putting that up right now. And as you can see, it involves the Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, and the Atlanta Hawks. The Sacramento Kings will get John Collins, Kevin Huerter, Josh Richardson, and Jacob Poeltl. The San Antonio Spurs, they will get Rashawn Holmes, Justin Holiday, and they will swap picks with the Atlanta Hawks, the 17th and the 20th overall pick. And the Hawks, they will get Harrison Barnes, Terrence Davis, the 4th overall pick, and a future first round pick from the Sacramento Kings. Now, of course, this deal most likely won't go through just off the fact that the San Antonio Spurs don't like to do deals with the Western Conference. Just like with Kawhi Leonard, they wanted him to go to the East, and that's ultimately why he ended up with the Toronto Raptors. But the San Antonio Spurs, they will be able to move up in the draft, they'll be able to get a center, and get something for some expiring deals. The Atlanta Hawks, they'll have the same mindset, and the Sacramento Kings, even though they will lose out on Kyle Kuzma not doing the other deal, Josh Richardson and Jacob Poeltl will actually add a lot more depth. They'll be able to play their roles. They don't have anything to prove other than doing the skills that they have been doing all of their careers, and that's something that can help the Kings. All they have to do is sell this 4th overall pick. Like I said before, you don't know what's going to happen in the 1, 2, and 3 position. So even if they don't get those players, Keegan Murray and Shaedon Sharpe will be the deciding factors if teams decide to move on to deals with the Sacramento Kings. Now, before I head out, you guys, I do have 2 questions, but first, make sure you follow me on both of my Instagram pages. Once I reach 1,100 followers, I will be giving away an NBA jersey of your choice, and make sure you follow me on my other ScottyIce pages. There's ScottyIce Miami, Milwaukee, and Texas. The link is in the description below, so make sure you subscribe to the channels. Now, the questions that I have for today is, 1. Do you think that the Sacramento Kings should trade the 4th overall pick? And if they do, who do you think they should trade it for? And the second question that I have for today is do you think the Sacramento Kings will be able to make the playoffs next year? For me, I believe so if they do get the right supporting cast, add a little bit of veteran leadership, guys that can keep the star players level-headed, because right now, they're all over the place. They have the players, it just comes down to the coaching staff and them being mentally prepared to take on the elite players in the NBA. Now, I appreciate all you guys loving your support, and as always, this your boy ScottyIce, aka Baby Bron, and you already know, I'm out.